everyone! Welcome back to my channel, Diamonds and Washi. My name is Katie. Today I am back with my usual Monday morning WIP and Chat. So I hope you're doing really well today and that you had a great weekend. Feel free to pull out a project to work alongside me if you'd like. I'm going to be working on a diamond painting, a WIP that I actually haven't touched in several days that I'm looking forward to getting back to. This is called Persephone from Diamond Art Club and the artist is Roy Trinh. If you're curious, this is the original artwork. And I am on the last couple of rows. So I've done like this section of this row. We're going to be working on the section that has her face today. I thought that could be fun to do in this WIP and Chat. And then I have this and then this last top row. This kit, unfortunately, has been discontinued, so if you want to hunt it down, first off, I'm sorry. I feel bad sometimes showing these discontinued kits in my own videos, but I have seen this one pop up sometimes in destash groups on Facebook, as well as places like Mercari and eBay and Poshmark. So you could check out those spots if you want to try to track this one down. As far as accessories go, I have some tools that are from a variety of different companies here. First, I have a couple of things from the March Pure Bliss Wax Company box. And first is going to be this pen, which is from Shimmering Canvases. Pure Bliss partners with a couple other small shops to put these boxes together. So for the pens, they're from from Shimmering Canvases. Now, while this exact pen is only available as an add-on for these March boxes, Shimmering Canvases has a lot of other diamond painting pens that are gorgeous, really similar styles of turning and whatnot. So you can check out what they have for sure and hopefully find something that is your taste. And then this is the tray that came with the box. This is from Crafty Creations by Ellie or Creations by LEP. And like the pen, this exact design is exclusive to the box, but you can still go shop her website and see what other styles of trays that she has and, shop from those too. They're all, I feel like this style, like this size and everything, with the sliding lids, so hopefully I can still give you some relevant thoughts today. And then this is a new to me product. This is from Blue Ridge Waxworks, and this I'm going to try in my single placer because it's a hard wax for diamond painting pens, and I'm really looking forward to trying this one out. It's in the scent Enchanted Frost, and was the scent and style that they made for Fairy Tales and Folklore this year, and they're a new sponsor and a new to me shop. I'm looking forward to trying this out. In my multi-placer, I'm going to be using putty from Randa's Crafty Corner in the scent Mulled Wine. And I don't know, this one just felt very Persephone-esque to me. So this is my go-to as far as putties that I've been using for just the sheer longest amount of time and tend to have a really consistent experience with across seasons and climates. So let me get my pen loaded up and ready to go. First, I need to pop in a multi-placer. I haven't used this pen yet, or the tray for that matter. And the wax, of course, is brand new to me as well. When it's a brand new product, especially it's a new to me shop, I like to test them out sort of, I guess, live, you could call it, in these WIP and Chats, basically, because then you get some real-time reactions from me and I can share my thoughts as I go with hopefully the same perspective that one of you might have if you were new to the shop and giving them a try. Maybe I might run into similar questions or even like concerns or issues that you might. I'm always hoping there's not going to be issues, but reality is that sometimes it happens and then we can always troubleshoot them together. And then when I remember, because I often forget this part, but the idea is that at the end of my WIP and Chat, I will kind of reflect back on the past hour or so of using it and be able to report back and give my first impressions. So I'm going to try to actually remember to do that today. Oh gosh, I should add a note at the bottom of my notes along with the things like what I've been reading and watching and listening to and what I've got coming this week, because then I'll be less likely to forget. Like, I've got a pen, like a traditional pen. Let me write that down here now and hopefully I won't forget. Okay. Product thoughts. It's written down. And we'll see if that does the trick. Okay. That's pretty snug in there. Okay. I think that'll work. Do putty first. And I use washi tape around the base of metal multi-placers when I stick them in the pen. Sometimes there's little extra bits sticking off. As long as the placer's in there, I don't care. It's really fine. I'm going to pinch off some of this and just roll it into here. So yeah, washi tape, you can wrap it around the barrel of the multi-placer to give it a little bit of extra width so that it'll fit in the pen. Most pens, the way that they turn them, are such that a metal multi-placer isn't just going to fit in and fit perfectly. So you can use washi tape or hot glue to make them fit a little more securely. Now, putty. Usually when I'm loading putty, you'll see me take a square like this and like just kind of cut into it, like Hulk smash it. But when I've got little awkward bits off the end that I want to use up like I do now, I'll roll it. Imagine like anyone else having this experience as a child playing with Play-Doh. You roll out the Play-Doh into a snake. I feel like that's basically what I'm doing with this putty. And then you can just kind of roll it thin enough that you can then push it into the multi-placer. It's not as neat of a process as just sort of cutting through it. But like I said, when I got extra awkward amounts of putty to use up, this is like, I don't really know another good way to do it aside from like rolling out the putty with a rolling pin and like cutting it into a thing where I can I don't know, load it the way that I otherwise do. And also occasionally you'll get putty that comes in like a little tube and you can't fit a whole multi-placer in it, so this is the way around it. It is a little bit messier. It's fine. I think we're going to call that good enough. Let's call that good enough. This smells really good. I like this scent a lot of this putty. And then single placer, we're going to load up with this new wax. Let's see. It's like a hard wax. And I think if I just scrape, I did not go onto the company's website to see if they put instructions. I should have done that. Okay. Do we think just like scrapey scrape? Oh, hello. Yeah, maybe. Because then I don't ruin like the front. The front still looks pretty. Does that make sense? So I'm scraping and kind of turning my pen to hopefully get it to load all the way around. And then I'm just going to kind of wipe off the excess. Okay. It does have kind of a floral scent. I am not a floral scent person, so I'm going to tuck this back away. We'll see if it's strong as we work. I don't think it will be. Hopefully it's not, but hopefully they also have some other scents besides florals that I can check out too. So, but honestly, I mean, a floral scent makes sense that they went with that for fairy tales and folklore, because I feel like you think of like an enchanted forest scene or something like that. And so florals make sense for a scent. Okay, this is another way that I use washi tape when it comes to diamond painting, and that is to section off my kits. I know more recent Diamond Art Club kits come with the sectioned off, like the perforated cover. But if you're not working on a Diamond Art Club kit, or if you have an older kit, or if you just prefer to not use perforated sections, like me, I don't like to use them. I actually prefer this plastic cover over the current one. You can use washi tape to section off like I do. Look at this section. It's like, it's all her face. Okay, good. I was worried. I tested out camera angles before this a little bit, because initially when I set this up, you had glare so bad right on her eyeballs. And I was like, that's no fun to be diamond painting this part of the image and not even be able to see her eyeballs. It actually looked kind of creepy. Where it was just like lights over her eyeballs, where I was like, that's not the vibe we're going for. Let's fix that up. So, okay, let me make space. I don't think I'm really going to use this stopper while I'm using the tray, unless I start making a mess. Okay, tweezers, tray, pen. Let's pick a color. You know, the symbol that's jumping out at me is this AB. It's the number 4. But are we going to take fresh putty and use it on ABs? No, we are not. Strongly recommend you do not do that. Those ABs are just going to stick to that putty and be a whole hot mess. Let's grab that red color. I don't know if I have enough of that one because I haven't refilled that container yet. So we're not going to grab that red color. Good grief. Sorry. Let me not swear here. Okay, let me grab a different color. Let's go with this color. Okay. So hello, hi, how are you doing today? I hope that you had a wonderful weekend and that your Monday and your week are off to a wonderful start so far. I am freshly back from a road trip to Arizona and am let me just say that I almost didn't film a whip and chat because I was really tired, you guys, but I rallied. I hate missing a whip and chat. I really, really, really love getting to chat with you guys and catch up with you here. I love reading your comments, hearing what you've been working on. And I even have some of you that are so sweetly saying and encouraging me by saying, like, but I love my Monday morning coffee and chat. So you guys are the best. I look forward to our coffee and chats too, even though it's the evening and I'm not drinking coffee. I have my water handy because I've not been hydrating responsibly this weekend either. So, yeah. Anyway, like I said, I'm happy to be here. The kids are in bed. The pets are all home and settled. And Adam and I are here to have a productive evening. He's getting stuff done on his end with some contract stuff. And then I'm right here hanging out with you guys too. So this kit I haven't touched in, let's see, did I work on it maybe last on Monday or Tuesday? Probably. And so it's fun to be back to it. I did not take this kit with me on our trip. And so coming back to it and sort of having a slightly fresh perspective is interesting. There's so much confetti. I really do love how it's turning out. And I'm still really enjoying working on bigger canvases, which is wonderful because of some plans that I have that I'll share with you in a moment. But my overall feelings about this kit are so far basically, if you're able to get your hands on it, then you really should. The only issue I feel like, I haven't run into it with this section yet, but if I'm remembering correctly, the main issue I've run into is with some clumping with some of the drill colors, but that's not the absolute end of the world. It's still workable. And yeah, even though Fairy Tales and Folklore has wrapped up, it's fine that this is starting, that this is continuing rather into the month of March. I didn't really want to travel with a kit this large, honestly. I knew I was going to be at the house that my parents were renting, and just the workspace there for my mom and I to diamond paint didn't really lend itself to a kit this size, so I took a smaller kit instead. And this was waiting for me when I came back home. So yeah, positive experience all around with this one, I feel like, so far. And then the project that I took with me to work on is called Enchanted Forest by Safina Art. It is also a Diamond Art Club kit. So it's been a very Diamond Art Club heavy, several kits in a row here. And that's just how it's worked out, honestly. But I will be mixing it up soon. But the Enchanted Forest kit by Safina Art is also, I didn't realize it had been discontinued as well until I went to go and look on the website to see if there were any other review photos. I was wanting to check on a color that I had placed, and then I looked and saw like, oh, this one has been discontinued. That's such a bummer. It's such a perfect little snack size kit. That's one of the reasons I had picked it up, is because it was 40 something by 40 something centimeters, and has a little fantasy scene. It has like a unicorn mom and her baby by a pool of water, and it has these really gorgeous giant quad cubes in the lights, and has round drills. I was really in the mood to work on a round drill kit. And this kit, though, I think was probably produced, my guess is maybe 2022, because it actually has some similar issues to this one. It had some major clumping drill issues and also had a little bit of gapping in the round drills, which was really characteristic of some round drill kits from Diamond Art Club for a period of time there. But since it was such a small kit, it was okay. There was only one color that the drills were so clumpy that I was having to spend time really separating them, and it was kind of a hassle, but I didn't run out of any drill colors, and it really was the perfect travel kit. It fit really well on the kitchen table without me having to fuss too much or do any weird contorting or anything like that. And it was fun and it was quick. I was able to, well, I had kitted it up ahead of time, which, do you consider starting your canvas, if you've only kitted up but haven't placed any drills yet, or have you not started your canvas until you've actually put drills down? Regardless, I kitted up that project before we actually left, but I hadn't put any drills down on it yet. I don't think. I'm pretty sure I didn't. And then I worked on it just in Phoenix, and I finished it last night before midnight California time. So it counts as a February finish. And which is nice, because if I hadn't finished that one, I don't think I would have finished Persephone. And I don't know. I like the idea of having more than one kit completed for a month, but that's just I was having a weird complex about it. So that one is done. And I had never unboxed that kit on my channel before. So I took the opportunity to film an unboxing portion of this bigger video that I'll do that's kind of a start to finish style review. I filmed an unboxing and first impressions, share my first impressions. I grabbed a couple of progress clips along the way, and then I will film, now that I'm home and everything, I'll film an actual sort of more traditional post review where I talk about my experience of working on it and all of that. I like to do those reviews when I can, where it's more of like a start to finish style. And so I hope that'll be fun to do. I have a lot of other videos to come out this week though. And sometimes it's just how the timing shakes out. That actually was something that happened. Okay, this set of storage containers is in the way. Hold on. I can't multi-place where I need to because those storage containers are right there. Something I ran into with being out of town, actually, and well, not with being out of town specifically, but with how things fell at the end of the month. So I had my fairy tales and folklore video to go up on Saturday for week 4, the last video of the event, and we decided to do Saturday videos. And then I also had my Pure Bliss Wax Company video to go up. And as a rule, I don't love having 2 videos go up in one day. I don't really know how much you guys like that. I've heard some people say, like, I can barely keep up with as many videos as go up in like a week, let alone multiple in a day. But that was just kind of how the timing worked out. And I figured it might draw in kind of different people that were interested in those 2 things anyway. Ooh, you have a little bit of scoopiness to you. Let's take you away. Oh, I didn't bring over my trash drill container thing. That's okay. I'll grab it after. But there was that. And then I had filmed ahead and had videos planned for the other days. So that went fine. And I'm always kind of thinking through, how can I like adapt if my schedule is going to be a little bit unusual, or if I'm going to be out of town. Luckily this was a time when I was able to film ahead pretty well. And hold on, this keeps crackling. It's driving me nuts, and it might be driving you nuts too. I'm just going to peel back this plastic cover and lay it back down, and hopefully that'll be flat. And yes, okay. Hopefully that's going to be much better for both of us. And I know I can take the time off, but I also am ever nervous about taking time off for sake of like you guys a little bit, but also like the algorithm, just sort of my own rhythm. So it worked out this time for me to have some videos filmed ahead, and hopefully that was still fun to do for you guys to watch too. And then this week it's going to be like all of my sort of weekly video spots are pretty much spoken for. I will have a couple of Diamond Art Club sneak peeks to share, and I also have my month in review, which I do like to get up in the first few days of the month if I can. And yeah, I think that's basically going to take up most of my videos that I tend to do during the week. 5 videos is my average, and I occasionally will have a 6 video week, but I try not to do more than 5 if I can help it, and sort of have 2 other days that are otherwise off. And I mean, 5 is, I know, a lot for some people for sake of watching, and even just different people on YouTube will have different approaches. And I don't know. I always consider shifting how I do my videos, but it would be a really, really big overhaul to change from doing multiple videos that are less edited throughout the week to like one or two more highly edited videos in a week. I'm not ready to make that change, but I totally see the value in it and the attraction of it, both for the YouTubers and for the viewers. So I don't know, but this is kind of where I'm at for the moment. But it definitely feels like the landscape of things like on YouTube has been shifting for a while, as far as, I don't know, what people seem to be more drawn to, not just on like the YouTube algorithm side, but just what you guys tend to, I think, enjoy. I mean, my interests and tastes change and shift over the years too. And I'm just always trying to figure out where I might want to adapt and where I'm just like, no, that's okay. I think I'm mostly going to stick to doing things this way because it feels the most true to me and how I enjoy doing things at the moment. But that's just me being a little overly introspective as per usual. Anyway, we were talking about kits and video schedules and whatnot, but that's a little sort of preview for what's coming this week. I did almost, if I would have, I don't know if I really could have planned very differently, but this WIP and Chat almost featured me kitting up my sneak peek for this week. Diamond Art Club is a bit ahead at the moment, and so I have a couple of my sneak peeks in ahead of time, which is really just, it's a delightful surprise, and I just feel ever so lucky. But I really want to work on this kit right away. The problem though, and this is like the practicality of it and me just having to go, I can't do it all. I would have had to film the unboxing portion of that video before I sat down to film this WIP and Chat, and I just did not have it in me to record a 15 to 20 minute video before sitting down to record a 1 hour WIP and Chat. So that would have been fun. I would have basically been kitting it up, and you wouldn't have seen the image or the name. You just would have seen the color palette. And I've done that before. And DAC, like, they really don't mind. It's just not giving away, like, the really obvious stuff, like the really salient stuff, is really what we try to do. So, but that, unless something like weirdly changes here at the very last minute, which of course totally could happen, I will film that video tomorrow and kit it up tomorrow so that I can get a little bit done on it before my sneak peek's going to go up on Friday. I don't know when my kit is going to preview actually, but Friday is when I put up my sneak peeks anyway. But I'll include a clip that shows however much I have worked on and how that's come together. But yeah, that got shipped to where my parents are staying in Arizona just because of the timing of things. That's why I couldn't record it earlier. We drove to Arizona, so I had plenty of space to tote back the sneak peeks that Diamond Art Club shipped there, and it worked out totally fine, I think. And I hope you guys didn't mind that my sneak peek for last week was filmed in just a really different spot with different lighting and everything. I made the best of it. They were running into some issues with the light in that house. They were gonna have to call the owner to have like the electrician come back out again. It was gonna be a whole thing. I felt really bad, but yeah, I thought the video turned out okay. I was glad that I was able to pull that all together. So there we have that bright red in her hair done. It's so pretty. So many shades of red in her hair. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's pick our next color. We'll do maybe that percentage sign, that next bright color red. Yeah. So yeah, stay tuned for that later this week. Let me move this back over and grab my next color. Make a little bit of space. Try not to shake my recording arm like crazy. So Fairy Tales and Folklore week 4 went up on Saturday, and that, I don't know, I was trying to pull as much and consolidate a bunch of different information about Korean folklore and K-pop demon hunters. And I know that not everyone has seen or is interested in seeing that movie, but I if you haven't and you're open to it, I know it's absolutely marketed as a kids movie, but it's just a good movie. Some of my favorite movies are, in fact, technically kids movies. Some of my favorite books are technically young adult genre books. I don't, as long as it's good, I don't care what age group it's marketed towards, right? So highly recommend if you haven't seen it. The name can be a little bit misleading. And this was interesting to actually dig into as part of that video, and I won't rehash all of it because if you would like to watch and find out more, you can definitely do that. But I was just going to say what was interesting to find out is that in Korean culture, a demon doesn't have nearly the same kinds of connotations that word does in English. And so yeah, that context, that cultural and like regional and linguistic context is important. And it was interesting to learn a bit about that. And it was very consistent with the movie too. So it was fun to put together that video, and I hope that it was informative and enjoyable for those of you that were participating and wanted to watch it. The prizes for that weekly giveaway are still available to be entered for a couple more days from the time of this video going up. So you can check that out if you're wanting to enter for the couple more prizes we still have to give away. But I really, really enjoyed Fairy Tales and Folklore. I loved that we kept it very low key, and I hope that it was the kind of event that you guys did enjoy too. This time of year, it just feels like the right time for a lower energy, kind of like lower stakes kind of event for diamond painting. And yeah, for its first year, I was, even if it wasn't his first year, I was just happy with how it went. And I feel like it was what kind of we both envisioned. At least it felt that way to me. I haven't like debriefed with Kate because I've been super busy the past several days, but yeah, that was really fun. I think we're both open to doing another year, but we certainly don't have anything set in stone. This year hasn't even fully wrapped up yet. So yeah, but thank you to everyone that joined in and shared your thoughts and everything as we went along. And yeah, so that's Fairy Tales and Folklore. And then let me check my notes that I don't just, I lose my head if it wasn't attached, I'm telling you. I'll talk a little bit about our Arizona trip. So we ended up doing a little road trip to Phoenix to see, to spend a long weekend with my parents who are currently snowbirding in Phoenix like they've done the past several years. And that makes them driving distance from us. And it's just wonderful to be able to drive out and see them. I was chuckling because one of you had mentioned in one of my recent videos where I mentioned that my parents were snowbirding, and I think I was talking too fast, but one of you had said, I thought you said snowboarding, and I was trying to figure out how your parents were going to do that in Phoenix, and I was just cracking up. And I said the term snowbirding to someone, who did I say it to recently? And they looked at me like I was crazy, and I realized, oh, this is not just a phrase that everyone knows. Do you ever have those, sorry, tangent, those experiences where you say something or you see someone else say or do something and you suddenly have this realization of, oh, this childhood experience that I had was not universal, or like my personal life experience was just simply not universal, but you assume that it is? That was kind of a little bit what this felt like. I was like, yeah, snowbirding. Everyone's heard of that. One of my favorite / not favorite, because I was very mortified at the time, examples of this was having grown up in a small farming town in Ohio. There were things that I just did not blink at because it was the only experience that I knew. So there were things about growing up in a small farm town that are also not universal experiences. I will give you a couple. The one in particular that was very mortifying for me, especially at the time. I've gotten a little more self-aware, and I think can handle myself a bit better now. This is right after I had just graduated college, gotten married, moved from Ohio to California with my husband, and was talking with some new friends that we had just met, kind of getting to know each other and stuff. And it was fall, so we had moved at the end of the summer, and it's getting into fall season. And they were asking, what I was missing about Ohio and stuff, because I was talking about how much I loved fall in the Midwest. I think that the colors of the leaves changing are just so beautiful. And the produce in the Midwest, when it's in season in the fall, the apples and everything, they're just, you can't beat it. It's so delicious. It's so good. Growing up in a small little farm town, there were also things like some of the local farmers would sometimes in the afternoons or on the weekends, they would pull one of their pickup trucks up to the side of the road and sell fresh produce out of the backs of their trucks. And sometimes they would even just set up a station there with basically a coin jar that it was just honor system. You put money in to, take whatever. But the way that I phrased it when I was describing this was, yeah, I miss when you could just stop off the side of the road where they would be selling sweet corn, buying sweet corn from the farmer's truck off the side of the road. And these native Californian friends were just what? And looked at me with the blankest look. And it was that moment of, oh no, they have no idea what I'm talking about. They think I'm crazy. They're like, what are you talking about? And one of those sort of instances of, oh my gosh, this is not something that everyone grew up with at all. I mean, even when I went to college, I went to college in Ohio, at a big state school, but there was still enough kind of ubiquitous common knowledge that no one would have blinked twice at an Ohio college that if I had said something like that. But come to California, they're like, you what? The blankest look. I was mortified. The other thing that I love to bring up, and this is again with sort of I know, I'm well aware that this is not a universal thing, but to communicate how, what my town was like growing up. And this is with all the love, affection, and nostalgia in the world, truly, because there was so much that I truly loved about it. But we had drive your tractor to school day. I'm dead serious. We had drive your tractor to school day. I did not grow up on a farm. We did not have a tractor. But on that day, you would come and they were just giant, I don't know brand names. I don't know, John Deere. I don't remember, honestly. But yeah, just giant tractors pulled into their parking spot to get multiple parking spots. It was something. It was really something. How did I even start this? My experience is not universal. How did this even start? I don't know, but here we are. So, yeah, that was a fun little tangent and trip down memory lane. That's for sure. I will, at some point, I'll remember where I started it, and that's okay. We're just going to keep talking about the Arizona trip anyway. So we took the kids out of school. I know. I actually talked to the vice principal about it when Connor spilled the beans in front of her. Look, they know, and they're supportive of especially if your kid is not just chronically missing school. Yeah, take the family vacation, do it's fine. It's really fine. But I was still a little bit embarrassed when we're walking home from school and the vice principal is being the crossing guard there. And Connor said, I'm so excited. We're going to Phoenix on Wednesday after school. And I just kind of yeah, and she just kind of laughed and just sort of waited. She's like, it's fine. She's like, it's really fine. But I was just a little bit I wasn't gonna shove her face in it like that. It's kind of one of those unspoken things more, I feel like. But no, she was totally cool about it. This way we were able to make a long weekend out of it. And it was a really nice visit. So, snowboarding. That's where it came from. That's how that whole other tangent started. So, yes, my parents the past several years have spent anywhere from a few weeks to a few months in Phoenix, largely to go to spring training, which if you're not in the States or if you just aren't familiar, it's conditioning, early practice runs basically for baseball, for Major League Baseball in the States. And I'm a lifelong Cleveland, now Guardians, used to be the Indians, baseball fan. I don't sports in general, but if I were to be a sports fan of any one sport, it would be baseball. Like, I grew up going to baseball games with my dad and stuff. So, yeah, my parents have kind of been increasing the amount of time they've been spending there over the winter. And this year, they're there for 3 months. We were able to go back in January, and then we went this long weekend. And it was really wonderful family time. We did go to a baseball game on Saturday. The kids, well, we all made it to about the 7th inning. And the kids were done. Cleveland was not playing well. The White Sox were just playing really well, and Cleveland was just not. And so we went ahead and called it after the 7th inning ended. You know, we were like, it's okay. We can go. And the kids, you know, ate some ballpark food, and Micah was really interested in watching to see how many ball strikes and outs they were getting. He was following along with that really closely. The people in front of us were saints. They, at one point, like, Micah was just, he can get very exuberant. He does a lot of sensory seeking, including verbal, and he was just standing up and moving around like a lot, trying to do a lot of redirecting and engaging him in positive ways. So it wasn't like we were just constantly shutting him down, but also trying to be aware of the people around us. Like, there's a good middle ground in here somewhere, right? Where kids and even kids with special needs can exist in public while also trying to be respectful of other people's spaces, while also hoping that other people will give us like at least like a little bit of grace and understanding. I don't know. I feel like there can be a good give and take and like mutual grace and understanding. That's what I shoot for anyway. And we were fortunate enough to get that from the people that were sitting in front of us. I apologized at one point. I'm like, oh no, like we've been there too. And they were just, that made me feel a lot better that they were very nice about it. And I feel like probably it maybe makes a difference when they saw that we were very engaged. It's not like we were just checked out, like letting Micah do whatever. We were trying. So yeah, we went to the baseball game. It was unseasonably hot though in Phoenix this weekend, which was a shame, because part of the reason to go and enjoy it is because it's not crazy hot. But yeah, we were in like the low 90s. Thankfully though, my dad knew which rows and seats would be in the shade, and he had booked those tickets for all of us, and that was a lifesaver for sure, because it would have been pretty toasty otherwise. So we went to that game on Saturday. On Thursday, we had been looking for, you know, what do we want to do with the kids? Our goal is kind of get them out of the house like once a day, basically, and go do something. So after kicking around a couple of different ideas, we ended up deciding to go to the Rainforest Cafe on Thursday. Connor, I think we took maybe when he was a toddler. Micah has never been, but I had thought that could be a really fun experience. And it wouldn't be like a big commitment. It's not, because we had kicked around, like, do we want to maybe go to an aquarium or something like that? And there was an aquarium that was attached to kind of a shopping center. When I was looking at it on maps, I saw like, oh my gosh, they have a Rainforest Cafe here. Do we maybe want to take them to the Rainforest Cafe? And if you're not familiar, it's a restaurant. It's a restaurant chain. You often will see it in touristy locations. I feel like my first time going to one was when we went to Canada on vacation. I think I was in middle school, and we went to one in Toronto, and it's really fun. They've got lots of animatronic animals. The whole place is decked out to look like a jungle. There's like a thunder and lightning storm that happens every 15 minutes. And the animals, yeah, they're animatronics. They're like moving and making noises and stuff. And, so I just thought, there was even like, there's a night sky that's, you know, it's moving and doing stuff too. And Micah is our little outer space obsessed kiddo, so I thought he'd enjoy that. And Connor likes animals and stuff like that, like tigers and lions and everything. So the kids liked it. Micah, honestly, the thing he was most into was these, like the walls around the place, like the half walls, had this like mist and fog coming out of it, and he was so intrigued by it. He kept calling it acid though, and I was like, it's not acid. He's been doing that a lot lately, insisting things are something else and being really, really insistent about it. Connor liked the monkeys and the giant elephant, and he thought that the thunderstorm was cool too. And he liked the cheeseburgers. He got like these mini cheeseburgers, and he thought the food was good. So it was a win all around. We had a fun time, and the only kicker was that it was in like downtown Phoenix, and we had to sit in a bunch of traffic coming back, but it was worth it. My kids tend to be pretty good travelers. And then on Friday, we kind of split up a bit because the kids are at different enough ages that there's different things that they're going to enjoy. So Connor can go, and he likes to go to movies and like watch movies. Micah just doesn't have the attention span for that. So my dad and Adam and Connor went to go see the Elvis concert movie, which I think Connor had seen a preview or something for and was really interested in, which I think is really cute. So they went to go see that. And then my mom and I took Micah to the Phoenix Children's Museum, which I took Connor to way back in the day, when he was like 2 years old. He's 10 now. I think he was like 1 or 2, like maybe 18 months, 2 years old, something like that, like under the age of 3, because I remember distinctly going into these areas of the Children's Museum that were specifically for kids age 3 and under and really loving it. But I had looked into it a bit ahead of time, and I thought, I think this is really going to be right up Micah's alley, and I think Connor's a little bit too old to really enjoy it, which, don't get me started how hard it is to wrap my brain around having a kid that's outgrowing stuff. I know I talk about this a lot, but the passing of time is rough sometimes, and I wish it would slow down. So often, I just wish it would slow down. So, Micah had the time of his life. There was so much to do there, and if you have young kids and or kids with special needs, I highly recommend it. It was really reasonable price-wise, and it felt very safe and very secure. It was really well staffed, and the staff was really involved and on top of things. And there was so much to do. Some of Micah's favorite things included, there were these little like bikes and tricycles and stuff that were lined up by this like fake car wash that they could pedal through, and it had these different things in it that were really cute. There was everything was so hands-on. There was a lot that was really hands-on that he loved. There was a whole grocery store set up where kids could get shopping carts and pick things out and shop and all that. And there was a whole automobile section with like a fake gas tank that Micah loved playing with. And then in the center of it all was a climbing structure that was like 3 stories high, but there was only like the only place the kids could enter and exit from was on the ground floor in this kind of contained area, and so it felt very safe. So Micah had a really great time. We were keeping a close eye on the clock and on his hip to make sure he wasn't having a flare up, and I think we left at just about the right time. But yeah, that was a really fun way to spend our day too. So lots of family time, like all of us together, but also we had enough time together that it wasn't a big deal that we split up to do things like that on Friday. And then Saturday, like I said, we went to the game. And then today, Sunday, we left after lunch, which ended up being about perfect timing. We got back around a bit after dinner time and managed with just 2 stops. I feel like I would love to get it down to just 1 stop. And I think, again, I can't share like specific details yet. I will hopefully be able to soon, but I just have reason to know and believe that we're going to have practice doing this drive more often pretty soon, which is all exciting and good things. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting to really settle into a rhythm with it. But I'm like, I feel like we could do this with 1 stop if we really can get into a groove with it. If we're not hitting traffic, I feel like we could do this drive with 1 stop instead of 2. And definitely not 3 unless there's like a, bathroom emergency or something like that. And now we're back today, and we picked up the pets. So our friends David and Rachel took Scout. They have a dog, and they get along really well. We've watched their dog Watson before, and so we knew the dogs would get along just fine. It's always a little bit of an adjustment period, and we also weren't sure how Scout would, how his behavior might have changed given that he just got fixed. But everything, it sounds like, went really smoothly. Rachel was sending me videos and pictures and stuff, and it seemed like they were getting along like a house on fire. It was really fun. And we really want to try to get the dogs together a bit more often to socialize for both their sake. They get along great, but we just think, if we take Scout to the dog park, he can be pretty shy and nervous around other dogs. My understanding is that dog parks are actually not the best place to help dogs learn social skills anyway. But yeah, hopefully if he and Watson spend a little bit more time together, they'll both, because Rachel was saying the same thing. She's like, yeah, it'd be good for Watson to have more puppy play date time too. So we'll keep working on it. But I was glad we were able to let them watch him. And then my neighbor just came over and checked on and fed Skip a couple of times while we were gone, so that we didn't have to relocate Skip, because we did that for Christmas a couple of years ago, and it was really stressful for him. So even though there wasn't anyone here besides our neighbor checking in a couple of times, Skip was much happier. But he and Scout both just about lost their minds with happiness when they got to come home or when we were home. So that was good. So I'm calling it a pretty successful weekend. I'm so glad we're able to do that, and it meant a lot to the kids and to my parents too. So that was our weekend. Along with that, Micah really had some hilarious, I'm calling them Micah-isms. And I feel like I want to start keeping track of some of the stuff that comes out of his mouth because it's hilarious. Okay, this is my lazy person's. I don't want to grab the drill grinder, but I need to split some of these up. I'm literally grabbing this container and just... It sounds terrible. And yes, occasionally drills go flying, but also... that hypothetically, let's see. Yeah, see, it split some of them apart. Enough that I can, work with another batch of them before I have to do that again. Okay. Again, I know there are other ways and more elegant ways, but this is efficient. I'm looking for laziness and efficiency here. So Micah-isms. Micah was saying some really, really funny things on this trip that had Adam and I about dying of laughter. The context for this is that Micah is pretty speech delayed. I don't know if very speech delayed is accurate. It probably is. He's very speech delayed for his age. And so a lot of times we don't even really totally get what's going on in his head. And some of the things that he says are really hilarious because of that. But also we're every day just kind of amazed at the things that he is capable of saying and understanding and doing. But he also just makes some connections that are so funny and so wild to us sometimes. Out of nowhere, we're driving on our way out to Phoenix, and he goes, a cacti is a baby cactus. And we were both like, well, we were both kind of chuckling because it was cute first. And before either of us could really say anything, Connor goes, no, Micah, that's not right. Cacti is short for cactus. And we both started laughing. So we're like, no, you're both wrong. We're trying to explain what cacti actually is, multiple cactuses. And Micah was just like, cacti is a baby cactus. And we're just like, okay, that's Micah. And helping Connor understand, sometimes Micah's just gonna say things like that. He also was as we were driving past the what do they call it, the windmill farms, the wind farms that generate there you pass tons of solar panel fields, and then there's a whole section that are just the call them windmills, right, that are generating air power. Anyway, we're driving past those, and there's 2 different sizes, and Micah went, a baby windmill and a mommy windmill, which, yeah, I could see that leap of logic. That's fun. And then my favorite one, the one that I was laughing so hard that Micah was like, Mommy, stop laughing. I was like, I can't. Out of nowhere, Micah, okay, so the context again. Micah likes to read street signs. He reads things that he just sees, which on this drive, you're seeing a lot of different like restaurants and restaurant names and gas stations and bulletin boards. And so he would he'd read things off and he'd sometimes be like, huh? What? Oh, it's that. This had the hilarious combination of us driving through a construction zone with, like construction vehicles and construction equipment and porta potties and all that good stuff. And then also like signage for different food things. The way that Micah decided to describe this is, and I don't even know where he got this sentence structure from, but he goes, speaking of porta potties, how about Mexican food? And I thought I was going to crash the car. I was laughing so hard. I was like, what? And it took me a minute to even make the connection to see the construction zone that has some porta potties in it, and then like the signage that we're driving by that it just says Mexican food under like the name of the restaurant. And Adam's like, what did he say? And I repeated it, and Adam loses it. And we're just like, you can't make this stuff up with this kid. And so that I should be writing more of these down, because it's nearly every day he's saying something that is so out of pocket, and I love it. Yeah, so that was the Micah shenanigans from our drive home today, and I don't even know where to begin with that particular sentence, but I love to know what in the world is happening in his sweet little mind. So, anyway, there was that. I've been talking a lot longer than I realized. I thought I wasn't going to have enough to talk about today, but that happens a lot. And then I end up having plenty to talk about. So, unrelated to our trip, I had a productive week in some ways last week, and I'm frustrated at the lack of productivity in other ways. For one, I knocked out a couple of really important phone calls that were on my to-do list for last week. So it was like, yay, took care of the stuff that was on my list. After having to play some phone tag and ending up on a weird answering service at one point, I finally got through to the dermatologist for myself and got an appointment on the calendar. And they've got kind of a long wait list, like a long turnaround time. And so they're like, if you're willing to see the PA, we can see you like in 6 weeks instead of 3 months. I was like, that's fine. The doctor that I had seen initially in my like primary care practice had said that the PA there was good, and that I might be able to get into her sooner. And so I was like, yeah, that's fine with me. But that's on the calendar, which I'm happy about. And then I finally got through to the neurologist over at Chalk. And I just knew, I was like, there's going to be something. It's not, even though it says that they have a referral, there's going to be something. It's always something. And sure enough, she comes back and says, so we see the referral here, but your pediatrician did not send over his medical records. And I said, okay. Thinking like, can you just put in a request? Like, why, what's the issue here? I'm guessing something with HIPAA, because she was like, oh, well, we need you to contact them. I was like, tell me what I need to tell them. Like, because I want to make sure I say everything that you need to get you the information you need. And I didn't ask. I should have in retrospect, because I was expecting her to come back and say the insurance authorization hasn't gone through, because that's what happened when we did the orthopedic at Chalk. But what I should have asked, because again, I wasn't expecting this. And when I'm on the spot, sometimes I feel like my brain doesn't work as fast as I wish it did. But I should have asked and said, he was just there a month ago. Do you not have his medical records from that appointment? Because this didn't come up for that appointment. Are you not able to see and access it there? So I don't know. That was just frustrating. I was like, dang it. Like, why is it always something? But I did ask. I said, while I have you on the phone, we ran into this issue when we were trying to make an appointment with ortho. do you have the insurance authorization, or do I also need to change that down? And she said, no, we see the insurance authorization from our end, so you're good on that front. It's just the medical records. So I said, all right, well, I will work on that. About to go out of town. I will get that ASAP. So there was that. But then it's, I knew this is how it was going to go. And the point was just to at least make the call, get the ball rolling. And we did. I did. I, not the royal we. I took care of it. So there's that. And then I have an appointment with my primary this week to talk to her about my shoulder. This is the appointment that we made where she said, make an appointment a month from now and do your physical therapy exercises in the meantime so we can see if they're working or not. It's been a mixed bag. I've done them way more often than not. But honestly, even though I took my foam roller with me to Arizona, I was so out of my element and so out of my routine, I should say, and tired at the end of the day that I didn't really get to them while I was in Phoenix. And I'm kicking myself about it because I hate when I set goals and that I struggle to do with them. And I'm totally curious to hear and open to your suggestions about what do you guys do? What are the kinds of things that help you when you struggle with executive dysfunction or just generally with getting stuff done that is important, that should be a priority, but sometimes it's just hard, stuff happens or stuff gets in the way. And yeah, of course, it's good to give yourself grace and all of that, but sometimes I don't want to just give myself grace. I want to get my stuff together and get it done. So I use the Finch app with mixed success because often I'm not checking on it throughout the day. I'm checking in at the end of the day, and that's not nearly as helpful. But the Finch app I know can help. I like to make lists, and I try to find if it's something that's routine, like physical therapy, at home, I had fallen into a good rhythm of just when I went up to go to bed, my foam roller was sitting right there, right when I walked into our bedroom, and I would just grab it and then do my physical therapy exercises on the bedroom floor before I'd go to bed. So I was in that rhythm, but once I was out of my routine and out of my sort of space, it fell by the wayside way too easily. I hate that this is something that I struggle with. I just wish it were easier to just get stuff done. It bothers me so much. So anyway, I'll also happily take suggestions. I've tried bribing myself with words if you do this, you can have diamond painting time or something. I don't know. Frankly, if it were an easy fix, I feel like I probably would have found it by now, but I will still happily take any of your suggestions if you have any to share. And if you're someone else that struggles like I do, maybe you'll find something helpful in the comments if others are sharing. So best of luck to all of us. Okay, as far as what I have been reading and watching and listening to, I did start The Way of Kings, the first book in the Stormlight Archive. And I started it a couple of days before we went on our trip, but I didn't really get to listen to it almost at all while we were there because busy. Even when I was diamond painting in the evenings, that's kind of when Adam and I were hanging out and decompressing a little bit. And there was one night when my mom was hanging out with us. She stayed up a little late. And so I was, I was filming and editing a bit. So I haven't gotten very far, but I'm at least a few chapters in, and I'm through the first handful of time jumps that seem to be what open up the book. And I am enjoying it so far. There was the sense of when I started it, this feeling of I feel like I'm about to experience a canon event because I feel like I hear from so many people that loved these books and loved Brandon Sanderson's work in general, saying that the Stormlight Archives was just such a heady and weighty kind of experience for them. And so I've been feeling that excited anticipation about getting to these books. And now that I've started, it's okay, where's this going to go? So it's fun to now have sort of started that ride, and the regular speed for the audiobook is 45 hours. It's something really, really, really crazy. And I do listen to it. I've got it 1.85 speed right now. And so that puts it down to 20 something hours, but yeah, epic fantasy for sure. And then watching, we had Aladdin on at my parents' place this morning rather, and the kids were really into it a little bit later into the movie. I was sad that they didn't really get into Friend Like Me. I was like, what the heck? This is like the best song. But the Prince Ali song, they were both locked in. They loved it. And Micah loved a lot of the slapstick humor, especially at like the beginning of the movie, actually, where Aladdin's like running from the guards. But it was fun. Like, we've tried watching with them before, of course. Like, we've got Disney Plus and hello, it's Aladdin. But this one, it was just like on the TV and everything. Like, I don't know, it was maybe the novelty of it. But that was kind of fun because I think that was the first movie maybe that I saw in theaters as a kid. I think that was the very first movie that I ever saw in a movie theater, if I'm remembering right. But yeah, that was fun. And then listening to, Adam was very sweet and did not complain one bit that I put on Taylor Swift for a good part of our road trip, especially back. And it's actually very cute. He's gotten to a point where he's listened to enough of her music and he knows that I really enjoy her music and even like the trivia and a lot of the stuff that's behind it, that he's informed about a lot of it and he's interested in hearing about it, or at least he pretends like he's interested because he knows that I like it. It's just very sweet of him. But no, he'll like have genuine, interesting like conversations about it with me, like different styles that or trivia about things that she's done with her albums, and I just thought that was so very sweet of him. Not that like it's not like the bar is in hell here, but I just thought it was very sweet that he it's not like he just tolerated it. He was like, yeah, I'll talk to you about it. I'm interested to hear like what was this fun bit of trivia behind this song. And anyway, just thought it was very cute of him. Okay. I'm trying to fix this with the tweezers and I'm glancing at my notes, and there is my little note that says product thoughts as we're here at the end of this video. So this wax is good. It reminds me, I think patty wax is probably the closest similarity I would give it. There's a little bit of residue when I have placed some of the first diamonds, and if I were a hard presser, there'd probably be even more residue. But for my style of diamond painting, it's working okay. I don't know how long it would last, and I haven't tried it on special drills yet. But first impressions, I would say they're positive. So that's good. The other products, Randa's Crafty Corner Putty I'm really familiar with. It's working as well as I expect it to. It's doing great. The pen, it's comfy. It's good to work with. And then the tray is, poor tray is having to tolerate these like really bunched up drills, but it's working fine. So that's just as well. I'm going to go try to break some more of these up and keep working on her hair, because this is all of like the second color that we've been done in this WIP and Chat, but that is okay. These are big sections and there's a lot of confetti in her hair. So that is what it is. What I've got coming this week, I have a couple of Diamond Art Club sneak peeks to share with you that should both be on time. I will hopefully have my month in review for the month of February up for you guys, so I can show you my finished projects and a actual whole look at this one so far. And then I may this weekend have up, depending on how it all comes together, may have up the wrap up for Fairy Tales and Folklore. That's going to be on my channel here in the first week or two of March. So if you're interested in seeing my diamond painting content and you're not already subscribed and don't want to miss it, please subscribe. I'd love to have you here. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, why don't you pick your favorite emoji that has the color red in it somewhere, since we've had these shades of red to make up most of this particular kit, this section today. Let me know if you want what you were working on or what you were up to while we were chatting today. But either way, thanks for spending some time with me today. Thanks for letting me chat your ear off about our trip and all that other good stuff. I always look forward to starting my week with you guys and love that so many of you do as well. But I'm going to let you go. I hope you are doing so very well, and I look forward to chatting with you again soon. Bye, guys.